Hello everyone. Planned Parenthood recently came out. And by the way, I don't usually do videos like this because I tend to talk a lot about political issues. I don't see this as a political issue so much as a cultural issue. The difference being that a political issue, the government or an elected official might have to address it. I believe this is a cultural issue which must be addressed by the individual. So I will make an attempt to address this issue. Planned Parenthood has recently attacked a New York City ad campaign called The Real Cost of Teen Pregnancy. The ad campaign basically hangs up posters at bus terminals as well as subways. If you live in New York City, you know what I'm talking about. You go to the subways and there's like walls of posters and you see that different ads on them. And here are a couple of the ads. They have pictures of, cute little babies on them. And I'll read some of what this says. By the way, these are based on statistics and facts that are cited in fine print on these posters. One of them says, "I'm twice as likely not to graduate high school because you had me as a teen." Okay, that was harsh. But it is true, and it is statistically proven to be the case. Another one says, "Got a job? I cost thousands of dollars each year." True, it costs a lot of money to raise a kid. "Dad, you'll be paying to support me for the next 20 years. New York state law, you have to pay child support till your child turns 21. Honestly, Mom, chances are he won't stay with you. What happens to me?" True, 90% of these relationships, the people don't end up getting married or staying together. That's just a fact. So, here we have an ad campaign that's trying to raise awareness about a serious issue, an issue that's a huge problem in our society, teen pregnancy. Planned Parenthood has a problem with this. Why? Let me read to you a statement by Heidi Morales, Vice President of Education and Training at Planned Parenthood's New York office. "The latest NYC ad campaign creates stigma, hostility, and negative public opinions about teen pregnancy and parenthood, rather than offering alternative aspirations for young people." First of all, that's not what it does. It uses facts and statistics and tries to warn teens about the consequences of their actions. That's all it does. Why is that so controversial? Well, I'll get to that at the very end of the video, what this is really about. Because, anybody with common sense would read these ads and say, well, what's the big deal? But, we'll read on. "The city's money would be better spent..." I see where this is going now. "The city's money would be better spent helping teens access health care." In other words, abortions. Because let's be real here, we're not talking about heart medication. Helping teens access health care, birth control, and high-quality sexual and reproductive health education. Not an ad campaign intended to create shock value. Again, the intention is not to create shock value, but to recite facts and statistics that are proven to be true, to make people think about their actions before they do them, to change the way people think. But what this person says is amazing. We shouldn't be creating negative public opinions about teen pregnancy. No, we shouldn't be encouraging people to judge teens who make these mistakes, but we shouldn't be trying to change public opinion about this issue. We should be encouraging people to say, well, this is just the norm, this is just part of our culture, we have to accept it. I don't think so. We have to strive to change the way people think, to raise their awareness. This is how we're going to move forward as a society. The one that really got me was where this individual says we need to provide high-quality sexual and reproductive health education. Because apparently, New York City's high schools have no health class. They have no sex ed. I went to a backwards, fundamentalist, probably underfunded Christian school, and we had sex ed, but apparently New York City's school system doesn't. But let's pretend they don't for a second. I'm going to provide it for you. On my dime. And you know what? It's not going to cost the city a cent. The stork does not... and by the way, New York City public school officials, you have my permission to refer your teens to this part of the video. Okay? And you can play this in your classes. The stork does not deliver children. The birds and the bees don't deliver children, and there is no child fairy that delivers babies to your doorstep. The way that people have children is by engaging in intercourse with the opposite sex. That's how people have children. So if you engage in intercourse with the opposite sex, you might have children. So right there, I already covered a lot of bases. Stuff that teens didn't already know. If you don't have intercourse before you're ready, you won't have children before you're ready. Again, stuff that teens don't know. I'm glad that I can help today. If you remain abstinent, if you practice abstinence, you will never have a child outside of wedlock. Okay, now that's the Christian-y, religious-y version. I'm going to, of course, get to the secular side of this. Don't worry, I'll address both issues. If you choose not to practice abstinence, or if you choose to have intercourse before you're ready to have children, I respect your choice. However, there are certain precautions you can take. There's a magical thing called a condom that you can use to not have children. There's birth control pills, there's diaphragms, and we live in the digital age. We have Google. You can use it to find ways to prevent yourself from having a child before you're ready. I encourage you to do that. So let's review. Don't have intercourse, and you won't have children. If you wait till you're married, you won't have children until you're married. If you do choose to have intercourse before you're ready, you can practice safe sex by using condoms and birth control pills and many other methods that are available. Right there, I just summed up 4 years of high school sex ed. If that statement that I just explained does not work on a teenager, then nothing will. They cannot claim that they don't have education, that they don't know that this is how children are made, and that this is how children can be prevented. This is common sense stuff. You don't need a large, expensive government program to teach kids common sense. But maybe the real problem here is our society. We teach young men that sex is a sport, and women are trophies to be won. Not people to have committed relationships with, not people to share our lives with. And that if men don't live this way, living their lives to try to have sex, that they're somehow less of men. Take, for example, the movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Our society, through music, movies, and shows, teaches this mentality for young men. We teach teens that sex is a casual activity. It's not even called making love anymore. It's called experimenting, trying new things. Everybody who's in a relationship does it. You can do it on the 3rd date. And then we teach our young people that they won't be held accountable for their actions. If you have a child, it's not your responsibility to raise that child. you can have an abortion and kill it. Or you can raise that child on the government's dime. And this is why we have an expanding welfare state, higher levels of unemployment, lower levels of education. There is a safety net for those who make poor choices. In my opinion, this is nothing more than a publicity stunt to get more funding for Planned Parenthood. But that's just my opinion. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that it entertained and/or informed you. I strive to do both.